you braced yourself too much.
Shut up. Oh, the floor stinks. Sup, terrible people. Got Josh over here editing up some spelunk.
It just takes off.
It's not spelunking, but some spunky stuff.
From what I understand, other people saw it. I've told this story before. You know, whenever I was on the phone with my friend, I was like, oh my god, and my brother, he actually was outside with me. I guess I could do the other ones on here too, if you like, and you could just...
What's up, guys? You probably remember us talking about possibly doing a documentary, and we had been recording things for that purpose. We decided what we wanted to do was use the interviews that we've been doing for podcast episodes and kind of take the footage we've been recording that was also going to go into this like feature-length documentary and do kind of like a docu-series type thing with it, just to kind of give a flash of our personalities outside of the podcast, us working on things, goofing off, and also the ghost hunts that Donnie and Aaron mainly do and that I sometimes tag along with, and Kristen will sometimes as well. And I kind of thought that it would be good to kind of give explanations every now and then, just like this, while I'm sitting here editing, just to tie together some portions of this, and to just, especially with this first episode you guys are watching now, to kind of give an explanation of what's going on. You've just seen us sitting on the couch, editing an episode we had just recorded. This was back when we did Aliens Part 1. And this next bit of footage you're about to see is us preparing to record another episode.
By the time Satan shows up later, we'll twist it!
We'll join now.
We'll sell our souls if you show yourself.
Honey, don't be shy. Show some dominance.
I didn't put my cup in today.
You know, Josh just recording it.
Gonna see how far he went.
That sounds
Winos.
Sometimes whiskey, sometimes it's tequila, sometimes it's twisted tea, sometimes it's wine. It just depends how we're feeling. Yeah.
There's not much to it.
Just plug it in.
Can't play.
Donnie.
Tight fit.
God!
So we leave the house, Aaron and Kristen stay in the house, me and Donnie go out there. And when we walk out there, we're looking at the whiteboard, and Donnie, I see him turn real quick, and he jumps. And I'm like, what are you doing? And
the boy on edge. Yeah.
he said, well, we have Halloween decorations in the garage, like decorating it in the garage basically, but it was, you know, on the front porch. We're storing them in there, and it scared him. But he goes, okay, I saw something in the corner of my eye where I thought something passed by, like, because my garage,
touch, you know, he can see.
He's got the touch, right? And we're in there's a hallway that goes past my garage and into a spare room out there that I keep my gym equipment in. And he thought he saw something like pass in that hallway, so he looked, and then he saw the Halloween decorations, and that's what made him jump. And he's like, oh, the Halloween decoration scared me. He goes, I saw something in the corner of my eye. And as he's talking and saying that, I go, wait, look. And I point, and there's this silver, what would you call it? Like
a cooling rack.
A cooling rack.
Like for baked goods.
But we had it out there because we were washing some freaking...
some bean bags, and we were drying them.
Yeah. But it's hanging on the wall currently. And... I point and I'm like, look, and it's swinging back and forth, like large movement, like someone pushed it.
It was legit swaying, like you had to physically
touch it to make it swing
as much as it was.
And we tried to debunk it in the moment. After we're freaking out, we're like, what's going on? And we're like, oh, the wind of the door. So we start swinging the door, like trying to cause the air to make it move again.
What is happening? Okay, possibly for the documentary. Me and Donnie are here. We're planning. We've got the whiteboard. We were talking about upgrading to a bigger one. Donnie thinks he saw something in the corner of his eye. He turns. He gets scared by the Halloween decorations. But then we notice this is moving like this. And we have tried to get it to move like that with wind, and it's not happening. And we didn't even come in now.
It's not doing anything.
What is going on? We need the ghost equipment in here ASAP. Oh god.
It's cold.
What if like I just brought the camera up and saw someone staring at us like going on? Okay, I'm gonna turn the
Like
yeah, and I even tried to do it a little bit when I was out there today to see if I could get it to swing without touching it. It didn't work.
Yeah, Kristen was like, "Oh, y'all walked in and y'all's elbow or y'all shoulder hit it, and it's like far enough away from the door."
Yeah, or at least, or even bumping the wall on the other side. It still didn't work.
I even tried the door going into the hallway to the garage because it's a door hallway, but the door is like maybe 2-3 steps from this door that goes into the like car area of the garage, which we were in. And I tried slamming that, and it didn't move it. I tried slamming the door that leads into that room, it didn't do it. No air made it do it.
And then Kristen and I's point of view, we can hear them like laughing
from outside.
and making noises.
What is going on? Yeah, we were in the living room the whole time, and we just hear them like yelping or laughing every now and then.
And y'all didn't check on us, and we said we'll be right back, which you're not supposed to say.
It sounded like y'all were having fun, like laughing.
We even like commented. I said, I hope they're laughing and not like being murdered.
So today we're hanging out in the garage with our new whiteboards and the previous whiteboard that was retrieved from last night. And we're like setting it up, thinking of ideas, just chilling. And then we bring out our ghost equipment and we put it in the middle of the garage, like the REM pod, you know. It's supposed to detect motion and something is near and it goes off.
We got a weak aura.
Ghost is in your house right now, not the garage.
I know.
So we've set it there for like 20 minutes probably, and nothing goes off. Josh picks it up and he's like, I'm gonna put it on this like air hockey table, you know, give it some space, and if it goes off in there, then you know.
Hockey table. And listen for it.
Oh god, that'd be so scary.
Because in this case, if it... See, I walk by and it beeps. Yeah. Alright.
And then nothing goes on, and then Chris and Josh are like, we're gonna go grocery shopping or whatever. So they leave, and then Donnie and I were gonna go charge the lights for, you know, our podcast. And he just straight up like leaves me, and I'm like, I'm not staying in here by myself. And as soon as he closes the door, I say, Donnie, like wait, and he just leaves, and the door's shut. And as soon as that door shuts, the air hockey table goes off, and we had already put up our like ghost equipment and everything, and I just have like my phone and the chargers. And the air hockey thing goes off, and it's like, it's like, game on. 4 minutes to go. And I'm like, oh,
that's like a
that ghost said, game on, baby.
And I was like freaking out, thinking, well, before the air hockey thing went off, I was like, oh my god, this door is going to be locked. And I'm like freaking out about that.
That would be horrible.
And as soon as I get to the doorknob is when the air hockey thing went off. And I'm like, what? I like turn around. I'm like, the REM pod is not on the like air hockey table. We took it off. Why is there noise?
And you were left alone.
It's like, there.
You dead.
I'm serious. Cause I got scared. I instantly felt scared.
Yeah, now what? Now
He
what?
left me. I was like, no, Donnie. And then you shut the door, and I'm like already scared. And then I went to open it, or start to open it, and it went, there. And I was like, right, you took the thing off.
It's always when it's least expected.
And it's like, I don't know, I started talking like, oh, let's play or game on.
Oh my. Where's the switch at?
Guys, it's not plugged in. Somebody pushed that button. As soon as she was left alone. Aaron about had a heart attack.
What happened?
She said as soon as everyone left and she was alone.
Yeah, Donnie left me and I was coming up and I was like right in here. He shuts the door on me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh god, watch it be locked. So then as soon as I grabbed the doorknob, it turned on.
Oh
the air
my
hockey and it
gosh.
started talking to me.
Oh, the air hockey thing?
Yeah.
But when y'all showed up, the light to the air hockey table was on.
Yeah, so yeah, we saw that, and that's when I started recording. And yeah, you have to push a button to make it like start talking to start the game. So there's like a button you have to push, and I don't know. Seems
that
like
scared me.
because the whole time, like when I sat it on the air hockey table, this is in that hall I was talking about earlier that goes past the garage. We're sitting in the garage, and I said before I went to the garage, I was like, okay, if there's anything in here, just walk past the air hockey table, and make this thing go off so we know you're here. And it never happened, but it's like it was because the button is on one end of the air hockey table. It's like it was standing there. Yeah. Standing there just waiting, staring at me, set the thing down, and then it thought we left, and then it was like...
Oh, it is cool.
They are on.
We need a blanket.
Let's go ahead and hit record. Is it recording? There we go. Alright.
Oh god, I'm scared.
Me too.
Coming into the garage.
God, I'm scared.
Me too.
It's kind of cold in here.
That's a Halloween decoration.
Should have left your camera down.
I'm gonna set this here. See what it looks like. It looks good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go for it.
Can't even do it in the garage. Not long an actual haunted place.
Yeah. I swear to God,
If that goes
I'm
off,
going out the window.
I'm diving through.
I'm hitting the front of the truck. Oh God, you're over there. I heard noise.
Alright.
I swear, you're freaking kicking that thing. I'm always too expensive.
So if there's any entity in here,
Closing my eyes.
you can step near that device on the floor there.
Set it off.
You can trigger it to set it off.
No, if that thing is I'm throwing up.
Whoa. That scared the crap out of me. I heard just a female voice from over there.
Y'all see stuff, don't say anything.
If there are any spirits in this garage, you can use this device to talk to us.
I know you set off the air hockey table earlier. So go on and let us know what you want to let us know.
I heard hi.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God. Use this device to speak. Let's see if anything comes through on this. If that misses it, then we'll try a EVP.
I kind of like the noise. That's too quiet.
Yeah, you want to speak out loud?
Ooh. Me?
What? I think it was Josh.
Well, I kind of did this.
Okay. Wait, you what? Move?
I did this.
Okay, maybe it was you. Is anything out there? What? What did? Did it?
It flickered for a second.
Are you in here with us? If you're in here, can you step over to the device on our left and touch it? The antenna sticking up. The stick. Can you touch that for us to let us know you're here? Can you tell us your name? I'm Steve. No, you couldn't. Can you repeat your name?
Well, you guys have just seen our first time using the ghost equipment ever. We wanted to originally test it out in the garage, which is what we were doing when you saw us messing with the beeping thing. Again, I don't know about the ghost equipment. This is more Donnie and Aaron's thing. But I put it on the air hockey table and we're like, let's see if someone walks past. We have no reason to believe it's haunted. But then the air hockey table went off with Aaron out there by herself. That's what made it a little more interesting and turned this more from testing the ghost equipment out, figuring it out, into actually possibly catching some stuff, mainly the weird Steve that we heard when we were out there. This last bit that you're about to see of this episode is basically some questions that were asked of Donnie, Aaron, and myself about what we think happened out there. We would also like to apologize in advance for the bad audio you've probably heard throughout this episode, but especially on these ending interviews. Again, we are still figuring all of this out, including the podcast, which is getting better visually and with audio. We're noobs, and we're trying to make sure we put out at least entertaining content, even if the quality is not top tier. We will hopefully get better. We're also all working full-time jobs, some of us even more than full-time, working overtime, stuff like that, on top of trying to do this. And this is a lot, you know, like editing and putting all this together. Takes a lot of time. We appreciate you guys sticking with us and tuning into the podcast every Wednesday. And now if you're watching this, we appreciate you watching this. Hopefully the quality of this will get better in time too. But if anything, hopefully it's just something for you to do, something for you to watch, and hopefully entertain you. That's the main goal. We're having fun doing it. So thank you again and enjoy.
First time going in, it was a little sketchy. I don't know, there was something in the air. You could tell something was a little off, but it wasn't like anything was popping off, you know, so it's like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, so.
It was really dark, and I was very, like, nervous the first time, and it did seem really dark, too, and I just felt like I was on edge the whole time, like something was there watching.
The whole room was dark, like you couldn't see anything in the room. And then you could kind of feel like something was there with you, but like I said, nothing was popping off. So it's like, come on, man, show me something. But, I mean, we caught some orbs, got a little flicker from the EMF.
I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not, even though I've had a lot of family members and stuff tell me stuff they've experienced. And I've even experienced stuff like, but I always explain it away, like sleep paralysis and stuff like that. So I don't know, to an extent I do.
I want to believe in ghosts, but haven't really had anything happen. I want to experience something. I'm open to it. But I haven't had like any defining things happen in my life that make me a true hardcore believer, I guess.
But then when it comes to like using ghost hunting equipment and stuff like that, I'm probably more of a skeptic toward that type of thing. Like with the orbs and stuff like that, I don't really understand it as much as like Donnie and Aaron do.
In a camera, you could kind of rule it out as dust, but like in the video, you could probably tell when I first set the camera down, you could see a bunch of stuff come up. But once I sat it there and we were just standing off pretty far away from it, so you wouldn't think that it would be dust since we're not really moving. Like especially this one, we weren't even moving at all, basically just standing in the same spot. But I think the orbs are just supposed to be like a ghost image type of thing, but showing up as like a ball of light. And you can see some of them where they would come up and kind of swoop way further down in the garage. And then there was one that just popped up over the glass to the exterior of the garage, which I thought was a face the first time I watched it. But then we reviewed the footage, and it was just a ball. It appeared and hovered there, and then it just disappeared again.
Like the one thing I could wrap my head around was the little thing that was supposed to beep when someone like walks past it, because I could do it. I could walk past and it would beep. So if that would have beeped, I would have freaked out.
The air hockey table was pretty spooky.
Unless y'all have some sort of short in y'all's table, I don't see how it would have went off, because the wall is probably a foot or two from the power button, and it was on the opposite side Aaron was on.
And the fact that when Aaron was out there by herself and where we had just removed that piece of equipment from the air hockey table and then the air hockey table turned on, that was pretty spooky. So, like, stuff like that does creep me out, but still I'm like, oh, maybe there's a short in the table or something like that, you know. The breathing thing, yeah, I didn't hear that at all when I was first out there. I'm the one being blamed for it if it is breathing, because I've got the very breathy laugh. But I don't remember doing it in that fashion. Aaron and I were nervously talking to each other the whole time. She doesn't remember hearing it.
I feel like that one's kind of hard to explain, because I don't remember hearing any breathing either while we were there. I don't know why we'd be breathing really hard.
And I pointed out to Donnie later that you can hear, like, when he sits the camera down, like, even when we first walk in, it makes a similar, like, noise. Like, it sounds like that weird breathy thing. And so it's like it only makes that noise when, like, it's being moved, and it's almost like someone was over there moving the camera, which would be really spooky if that's what happened.
I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out when you were reviewing the footage. Whenever I was walking in the garage the first time, you could hear that, like, breathing sound, or, like, I guess my fingers moving on the camera. But like I said earlier, when I sat it down, we were pretty far away from the camera. So unless something else was touching the camera, I don't see how it would have made that noise. I kind of wrote it off as the car passing by that you can see in the video behind us. But at the time, I didn't hear that. I don't think any of them heard it while we were out there. But, I mean, other than that car, I wouldn't know what it would have been. So I feel like it could have been paranormal, but it also could have been the car. But I don't even know what the car would have ran over, because there was nothing in the street when we left or when we got here. So
I don't know. It almost sounds like wooden and more solid. And like Donnie mentioned, there's nothing in the road, and there's no, like, dips out here too, so it's not like to hit, like, the bump and kind of, like, bounced or whatever. it was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it.
The knocking noise, I think, was probably the car that passed by. It does sound a lot like knocking, but it had to just be the vehicle that passed.
I heard the Steve clear as day, unlike my two counterparts that were my two constituents that were with me that evening.
I can hear it like after the fact, reviewing it, but in those moments I can't hear anything. And I guess when you watch the video, Donna's like, I heard Steve, and I said, no you didn't.
The Steve did creep me out. I didn't hear it when I was out there. I immediately denied it when Donnie was like, yeah, I just heard Steve. It's like, no you didn't.
I could hear it. You could kind of hear it in the recording, on the video.
When we were, I guess, editing and reviewing our footage, listening through it through the headphones, it sounded really clear. It sounded like Steve.
Because I didn't believe him at all. And then when we listened back to it, I was super creeped out. My eyes started watering, and that's, yeah, it's super. I don't understand, again, the equipment, like the whole, it goes to the different radio stations or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, did we just pass a station where someone said Steve? But then at the same time, it was like in between the and it sounded like a whisper, like Steve. And so, yeah, that creeped me out. And ever since then, it was our garage, me and Kristen's garage here at our house that we live in. I've been freaked out every time I go out there to, like, wash clothes or something. I'm like, Steve's out here with me, man.
Yeah, that should close out this episode. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
You know, they say that ghosts can talk to you through, like, radios and stuff. And I've been feeling like a weird presence in my house. So I figure I'm going to talk to my Google Home. See, I just heard something. Yeah, I'm going to talk to my Google Home. I'm going to see what she has to say about this. Hey, Google. Is there anyone in this house with me? Hey, Google. Is there anyone in this house with me?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Your wife is in the other room, dumbass.